So it's fall time, you got the blues, your garden's toast. Can't grow anymore, can you? Yes, you can. We're going to show you today some of the plants that we have growing inside. We're going to show you how you can do that too. Let's get into it. Hi guys, this is Jeremy with Colorado Gardener. Today we're going to show you some of the plants that we have in our house that we like to grow year-round. A lot of times people don't like it in the fall because they can't grow anything anymore, and right now it's about 30 degrees where we're at, so growing outside, definitely out of the question. So we wanted to show you some of the things that we grow here. A couple of factors to keep in mind if you do plan on growing inside. One, most importantly, make sure it's getting plenty of light. We face a lot of our big ones in the east side window, just because that's where the sun comes up and we get a lot of natural light coming in. If you don't have room on the east side, find a window that does get ample sunlight. And if you don't have that, you can now also look into growing lights and the options there. So let me show you what we got. So this right here, this is just a simple basil plant. As you can see, it's not exactly as full as it should be just because we are facing south here, and that can make a difference when you're not getting as much sunlight, but it's still hanging tough, I think. We have one of those globes, if you guys have ever seen those, to make sure it has plenty of water. One thing I definitely want to caution you on, guys, make sure you're not over watering, and it is so easy to do that when you're inside. Outdoors, it's hot. That water's going to dry up quickly. Here, it's going to stick around a little bit, so I would recommend maybe once a week watering them. And by watering them, I'm talking maybe ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of water. And this is the west side window. As you can see, you've got mountains out there. That's the west side. And we have a couple plants here that don't need as much sunlight, but still want to make sure they get at least a little bit. So that's our cilantro plant. It's actually thriving. Don't see a lot of flowers or anything on it yet, which is great. That means it's not going to seed, it's growing, and we use that almost every day, especially in cooking, salads, whatnot. And over here, which one is this? Oh yeah, that's our sage plant. Sage is really good for cooking, especially around the holidays when you start getting around turkey and stuffing and whatnot. Sage is awesome to use, even in things like homemade butter. Just chop a couple of these guys off and use it for cooking. Aloe plant's always a good thing to have, I think, for anybody. I mean, if you ever want to have a plant where you forget to water it and you're afraid it's going to die, this is probably the one to get. If you go quite a while without watering it, it actually thrives. You don't really want to water aloe that often. And you don't really need to put it in too much sunlight, to be honest. Natural light kind of sustains it, I think, just fine. And here we have our window that faces west. I got two plants here that really need some good sunlight. This is optimal, I think, for them, definitely. So what we have here is we got some Thai basil, and that just is something we love to use in just about everything, to be honest. And same deal there. We got a little globe there to help water it. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about thriving indoors. This thing's doing very well. And believe it or not, this is a miniature key lime tree. Everybody says you can't grow citrus out in Colorado. I'm proving them wrong, folks. So we leave this in the window, water it occasionally, not very much to be honest. It doesn't really need that much. And as you can see, we got flowers coming all over the place. And eventually those are going to be limes popping out there. So how awesome is that? But Jeremy, I don't have any windows that face the right direction. Now what am I supposed to do? I'm going to show you. So as you can see here in our kitchen, we do have some herbs that are growing under a grow light. These are pretty cheap. I was really surprised. I got these on Amazon, but the bulbs for this are perfect. Gets over them perfectly. As you can see, we got some tarragon. Again, guys, don't overwater it. This is what can happen if you do it. So learn from my mistake. And we got more Thai basil just because we love this stuff so much. It's awesome. You might notice there is no label here. We just started this one off. This is going to be our dill. We love dill in pretty much everything, especially for breakfast. And you can still grow chives, which is great to have. And then pretty much we kind of basiled off here. We got our Greek basil and our holy basil. So if you take a look at this, guys, it's not really taking up a whole heck of a lot of room, but you can definitely grow some pretty decent plants or herbs in your own kitchen. Another thing you can do before you get them ready is you can propagate. As you can see here, we got some rosemary that we're getting ready to propagate. As soon as we start seeing some roots coming off of that, we're probably going to switch out a couple pots here. I might put it where the opal basil is. Opal basil was kind of an experiment, and yeah, it's okay, but I think we got a little too much basil going on and we want a little more variety, so I think eventually we'll go ahead and put those guys in that pot, and we'll have some pretty nice herbs for the season. So there you go, guys. So while you're waiting for what seems like an eternity for fall and winter to be over, you can still do things inside. I encourage you to go out, take a look, see what you can find. A lot of people kind of get turned off by it because they think the grow lights are really expensive and they take up too much room. But as you can see in our kitchen, we found something that's fairly portable and does a very good job in making sure that that greenery is still in your life and still gives you that purpose. So until next time, guys, this is Jeremy with Colorado Gardener saying God bless.